Alright, today we're having a look at A Spooky Haul by Daninator08. Alright, so here we are in A Spooky Hole by Daninator08, and realize the floor is dropping out from under us. We got no sound here, which is kind of worrying. I'm hoping that there's a level underneath this floor and not a scoreboard. That would make me sad. I am looking for a platformer for Halloween, but we're gonna see what happens when we fall down this hole. And okay, we are falling. There's a weird kind of noisy noise going on in the background. And an eye. That right? It's an eye is upon you. An eye waiting to blink. Wait, what? Did we hello? We're still in the hall here? Why is my shirt blue? Used to be black. Okay. So scenes and vignettes, as it were, can't drop down to the front, which is actually kind of nice that they disabled that, because that is a way that levels often break. Did the walls just glitch there a second ago? Hmm. I, okay. I fell into the floor. I was supposed to fall on the floor. You can clearly see a gap. Oh, hello. Hello there. I this if we're thinking spooky halls, you've got like Anthony Michael Hall and you've got Arsenio Hall. But I think Hippolyta Hall is probably the spookiest of spooky halls. She did instigate the killing of the Dream King. Uh, 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 I mean, I wasn't, it's not what I was expecting. There's nothing on the title page to indicate that this was not, in fact, a level. I mean, it is a level, but title page says a spooky hall, boo, haunted house. I don't know, I was bored. Back again for another Halloween. That's what it says. We're gonna probably put that in a pip. Um, Maybe at least even just one more vignette would have been nice, but I guess we're gonna talk about this back at the hub, and we'll see you there. See yas. And we're back, and a spooky haul by Daninator08, and it's an orange diamond. I think the issues with it should be relatively clear. I don't have anything against eye candy levels, and we've looked at eye candy levels in the past in the show, although it's been quite a long time, and it would certainly be churlish of me to downplay the effort that goes into making a set like we see in a spooky hall, or the enjoyment of making that type of environment. I mean, if you take a look at my sets, it's very much what I do. My biggest issue is with the fact that there's nothing on the title page that would indicate that it's just what we saw in the video. There's no tag for eye candy. There's no tag for scene. Well, I mean, there's no tags at all. So it's not as though, and at the very least, it's not as though Daninator08 is promoting the level as something that it's not. It's just not informing players of exactly what it is. And I think that I probably would have felt more warmly to the level, although it still probably would have been a orange diamond, if there had been some indication up front that this wasn't really a playable experience, so to speak, but was more kind of a presentation of environment. Now, as far as the presentation of environment, I did like it, that a hallway set piece looked really quite nice. It's not sized for sack things, but even still, I mean, you do have to kind of size things up fairly well when you're making environments like that to get the details quite right. If you size things down so that it looks like it's right size for sack thing, I find myself when I'm making environments like this that things get too squished together, and a lot of things that have finer details in like texture, for example, or decorations, they tend to look too small. The other way to get around that problem is if you kind of size up the sack thing character. Use a SAC bot, and you put the SAC thing in control of that behind the scenes so that you can have actually a larger character to fit the environment so it's sized correctly, but that you don't have any trouble with actual detail work. But I don't think that's really something that was necessary here. The Basically, what we saw, these two vignettes, and they're very, very simple. The first one where the floor is dropping out, and that was a little bit weird. It seemed to me that when I was playing it the first time, and the floor dropped out smoothly, like step by step by step by step, it just kind of continued across. The second time that I played for Pips, it seemed like the floor kind of got stuck halfway. Like the dropping out tiles or the disappearing tiles just stopped for a little while. I'm not sure if there's a hidden trigger behind the scenes that's causing that to happen. It was just a little bit odd. It stood out to me a little bit. You get through that, you fall down, and you've got the only sound work in the level, which is kind of buzzing, almost a radio noise in the background, which I thought was kind of cool. You got the eyeball that looks at you, and then you fall into the next scene with the squishing walls. And that puts you into the background, which I thought was actually cool. I just hadn't realized that's where we had gone, because, we end up behind the wall between the two windows, and I thought we had actually gotten stuck in the floor, and that maybe there's a secret passage there, and I just started running back and forth and noticed myself in the back in those windows there. And like those bits were cool. I kind of wish that there had been at least one more bit. The power of threes, that we tend to go back to things in groups of threes in levels or in stories. When you're building motifs in writing, a lot of times, like a three is going to be kind of a base size to build that motif, although it'll probably be coming up more and more if you're doing a longer story, of course. So like just one more vignette might have bumped this up a little bit to get it into soft yellow square territory. But as it is what it is. We saw it. You saw it. It's different, of course, to play it by yourself on your own when you're not talking to people. So I do encourage people to give a look at it, see what you think. See what you think. I can speak English. See what you think yourselves. But I think that pretty much does it for us this go about. This will be the last episode before Halloween. So I wish all of you a very happy Halloween. I hope you've been enjoying the spooky season, even if our levels haven't been super spooky themselves. But go watch yourself a good horror movie. Watch Us. Us is really good. I like that an awful lot. But, whatever floats your boat. I hear there's a Blu-ray edition of The Blob, 1989. I highly recommend that one. You should pick that up while it's still in the stores. But, as I was saying, that just about does it for us this go about. So, from me, Risco, here in Osaka, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you. Arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.